Welcome back, Masters and Princesses, to another episode of Made News Network. I am your host, SJ Nix, and this time we are doing TATU number 10, 10th anniversary tour update, and we are going to cover the festival, Welcome to Rockville down in Daytona, Florida, and we are going to cover the one man at Atlanta at the Buckhead Theater. I'm sure some of you now have already looked around and seen some of the things out there for both of those shows. Both of them were amazing, fantastic, awesome, super cool. But we're going to start with Rockville. Rockville, 4-day festival down in Daytona, Florida. And they were on day one, May 18th, this past Thursday. They're on one of the side stages, but this is by far the best billing that they have had at a festival, either in Japan or here, a major festival. They were number 2 in the lineup. The headliner for that stage that night was Suicidal Tendencies. They went on just before Suicidal did. They had about a 35 minute set. There was a rain delay though, so they went on later than they were supposed to, but actually worked very much to their benefit, because you'll see some of the photos I'll put up here. It was dark outside, so the lighting for the crowd, the lighting for the stage, you got the full effect of that. And it shined through in their set. It was a fantastic set. So good. So they did 8 songs that night. And I personally was expecting like a real fast, heavy set, considering that they were going on right before Suicidal, but they threw some curveballs in there. So let's go over the set list here real quick. They opened up with Domination. That seems to be the theme this time around. In past, they've closed with it, or it's been later in the set, but this tour looks like they're opening with Domination. The first curveball in the set is One and Only. I didn't think we were going to get One and Only at all this year, let alone at a festival when they're opening up for one of the biggest skate punk bands, thrash crossover bands ever. So not a heavy song, but a really good song and a good crowd response. Awesome to hear One and Only. I hope we get it when they come out here west in August. Next up, this is a banger for sure, no matter how you look at it. Blooming. And the crowd pop, from what I've heard, was fantastic. It was amazing for Blooming. They just came off. You'll see some fan cams out there, and you can just hear when the song starts, a lot of people up front knew exactly what it was, and great. Next up, another one. I'm a little surprised that they played it, but it was Endless Story. And there is video that I'm going to plug in here in post, and you will hear the very end, the sing-along at the end as the song finishes. And you can see the crowd, and there's at least 5,000 people there. I've heard estimates up to 10,000. It's really hard to tell because it is kind of narrow along the sides, but it goes back a long ways to the point that just you can't see people anymore. I would say half of that crowd was singing along. I was completely blown away when I heard this. I did not expect that much crowd participation and, frankly, knowledge of the crowd to what they were doing. It was loud. Coming out of that, we go into Screaming. Another banger. This is the type of stuff I was expecting in the set, and they absolutely crushed it. They followed that up with Play, always a fan favorite. Then up we got No God. No God is very rapidly becoming one of those, no matter what we play, it's going to be in the set. Kind of like Freedom used to be. That was kind of their anthemic song. No God seems to really be rising up as far as one of their fan favorites, one that's in every set. And it's a get your blood going, get the crowd going one, because Miko and Psyche are out there, jump. Awesome song. And if I was going to close out the set with my favorite song, if I was king for a day and I was going to end that set with a song, they used that song. They ended it with Warning and destroyed it. Just so good. Such high energy, and you can hear it in the crowd. Now, I want to give a shout out, and I'll put a link to the video in this tattoo. So look down in the comments for a link to this one. But a YouTuber by the name of Stretch Adams was on the rail, just a little bit to the side of Psyche, recorded the entire set. So if you want to know what happened at Rockville, that's where you want to go. So Stretch Adams, fantastic job, dude. Great video. You can hear the people around you screaming and singing along. You held the phone steady pretty much for the entire time. So you could tell you were jumping a little bit for No God, and I don't blame you one little bit. But Stretch, fantastic job. Thank you for doing this. You've kind of carved out a little legendary niche for you in the fandom for that fan cam. Thank you so much for that. Away from the actual set itself, we got some other interactions, and this is kind of becoming a thing too. Clown Sean Crahan from Slipknot really seems to dig the maze. It's every time that they play with Slipknot, there's a photo of Sean and the girls, and this time is no exception. There's a couple different ones floating around out there on social media. I'll plug one here in post. You'll see it right now. He really seems to like the girls, which is just, it makes me happy. I don't know how else to say it, what else to say. It just makes me so happy that they get that level of respect from, no matter how you slice, a legendary band in the metal scene. And I'm sorry I don't know his name. There was another member of Slipknot that watched them from the side of the stage, because there's a little fan cam of him out there. It's a little short one where he's on the side, he's on Misa's side, and he's recording them playing in front of the crowd. And you see how big the crowd is too. So Slipknot digs the Maids, and I'm not mad about it. Thanks, guys, for doing that. Keep promoting them. I'm sure based on this, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them play with Slipknot again, and I'd love to see them on Knotfest here in the States if we get back to doing those. Miko's out wandering around, and she turns up at the Zemitis booth. So there's a bunch of pictures and a little video of her at the Zemitis booth. I'll pop one of those pictures up right here. So she's out doing the promotions. Didn't have her Flappy with her, but she was holding the ZV, which we haven't seen her play in a while. I wish she would play that again, and it sounds a little bit different on it, but it just looks so good. It's just a beautiful guitar. So she was out there repping Zemitis a little bit. I couldn't help but think that, because she was in her street clothes at the time, I couldn't help but think people walking by are like, who's this Japanese girl holding this guitar? Little did they know, but if they saw the set, they certainly know now. So a little Zemitis rep for Miko, a little love from the other bands out there. There's a few other bands I think took pictures with them, but I'm not familiar with them, so don't hold me to that. All right, so that was Rockville. Now, the next night, they're up in Atlanta. So they finished Rockville, hopped on their bus, obviously drove all night, and they showed up in Atlanta at the Buckhead Theater. They seemed to, like, they got there pretty early. The videos I've seen of the bus pulling up, pre 10 a.m. maybe. So they obviously drove all night, got on up there, and were at the Buckhead Theater. Dawn Patrol was out in full force. There were people in line by 5 a.m., if not a little bit before. And I think most of the people in our little group started showing up 6:30, 7 o'clock. And they were out there lined up. I'll pop a video up here. Chester from Cafe was super helpful, shot a bunch of videos of the lineup, and then did some post-show interviews that I'll add in this video to you toward the end. This show was not a sold-out show. I don't think too many of the shows on the East Coast leg of this tour, the May dates, were sold out, but they announced at the show that it was in fact sold out. So that means that they sold a bunch of tickets either the day of or the day before. And I can't help but think that maybe Rockville had a part of that. Maybe there were some people who saw them at Rockville and then decided to make that drive. It's not a short drive uh, from Daytona up to Atlanta, but it's just kind of curious that they would sell it out kind of last minute. Maybe that's just me being a conspiracy theorist. But regardless, officially, Atlanta was sold out, which is nothing but good for them. If we can keep doing that, the bigger these venues get, as we sell them out, the venues just get bigger and bigger. Keep doing that. If you're on the fence about going to any show on the East and it is within driving distance, do it. Help out the maids. You won't be sorry. I promise you, you will not be sorry if you get to one of these shows. But here at the Buckhead in Atlanta, it was a 19-song set, which seems to be the direction that we're just going these days with these shows. You're getting the 90-ish minutes with 10 to 15-minute homage and eye time. That works out with our 19 songs. And while the songs have been pretty static for this tour, they've been shuffling them around a little bit, but each time they're moving songs in and moving songs out. So for this Atlanta show, these are the songs. They opened with Domination, One and Only again, like they had down in Daytona. We got Influencer, Screaming, Dice, Black Hole, Sense, Rockin' Me, From Now On, and Warning, Hate, Secret My Lips, Choose Me, Daydreaming, Memorable, Unleash. They plugged in Blooming here and You got bumped out. No God. And then they closed out with Endless Story. I wonder if this is going to be a thing now. Endless Story is absolutely a crowd favorite because of the crowd participation. It's an interesting way to end the show. You don't end on something super heavy, but you end on something that's got a nice emotional sway to it. It'll be interesting to see if they keep doing that throughout this tour. The crowd was super loud, and there's another video from Buckhead, just like they did at Daytona, where one of the staff is shooting from behind Akane. So all side by side those, and it looks very similar. Obviously, Daytona's louder. There's more people, but Buckhead did it solid. You guys were super, super loud. Your first show for Band-Maid in Atlanta, you guys brought it. Everything that I've seen, you guys absolutely brought it hard. So props to you guys for that. Okay, so during homage and eye time, we got some more shenanigans. Brian Sember had towels made up that for the periodic element polonium. And you'll see the photo right here. Very, very clever. It's something he worked on for a while. He gave away stickers with that logo on it. He had towels, and then he also had a custom shirt for himself made with that logo on it. And there is a fan cam video of that, and I'll put the link in this description as well, so you can go watch that. They really seem to enjoy it. Miko tucked the towel into the top of her outfit and wore that during the homage and eye time. Someone in the crowd had to kind of explain to him exactly what it was. But if you look in the picture, you can see a lot of thought went into the way it was done. It was really well good. So good job to you, Brian, for that. And good job for you pulling it off during the show as well. Something else that is back with us again this time is Misa's opening ceremony during Homage Night Time.
Okay. Wait a minute. Misa's beer opening shop. Okay, 3, 2, 1 together, okay? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
And for Buckhead, she was drinking a beer called Classic City Ale. I don't know anything about it. I'm a West Coast guy, but from what I'm hearing, it's a decent beer for that part of the country. So congratulations, Misa. I guess she had 2 or 3 of them at least. So she was certainly enjoying them, if nothing else. And that's kind of it for this TATU. This tour has kicked off. Now we've got 4 shows under our belt, 3. I'm not going to call them one-mans because we got an opening act in Dallas, but we've got 3 headlining shows, and then we've got 1 festival under our belts, a couple more festivals coming up here, and several more one-mans. So keep an eye out for those. Peter will probably be doing the next TATU for TATU 11, which will cover 2 shows, which should be Nashville and Charlotte, whatever the next 2 shows are. I should know this stuff, but I don't know everything. I can't keep track of all of it. But I'm going to close this TATU out with a couple of interviews that Chester did after the show for people who this was their first time coming to a Band-Maid show. Some of the sound isn't great, but you can hear the excitement, and they really got something out of it. And oddly enough, one of the running themes in his videos is that they really enjoyed Homage Night Time. And I know some people are kind of over that. I hear that in the fandom. It's like, well, I'd rather get 2 or 3 more songs than that. I get it. But to see people who had never seen them before, or only casual fans who heard they were in town and came, for that to be such a big part of the show, I don't see it going away. I hope it doesn't go away. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much. This has been TATU number 10 from the Band-Maid 10th anniversary tour. Watch a couple of these fan interviews at the end of the video, and we will see you next time for TATU 11, and we will see you next time on Made News Network. Thanks.
All right, guys, so this was your first Band-Maid show, right?
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
It was so good. They're so energetic, and I love how they talk to the crowd and like little bits on stage talking to each other. It's so nice to see.
If you could nail down your single favorite instant, your single favorite moment from the show, what would you pick?
I'm going to go with Homage Night Time. That's so incredible.
This is your first time. You've seen it online and stuff before?
I haven't, no.
Really? You've never even seen it online?
No.
So, wow. That's pretty cool. How about you?
Anytime that the bassist was just let's do whatever, I love her so much. I love the bass, so it was so nice.
Do either of you play an instrument or anything?
I play bass, yeah.
Oh, so you picked a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to plan on seeing him again?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, thanks. That's just the response we're looking for. I appreciate your time. Thank you. All right, y'all. So y'all told me this is your first Band-Maid show you've been to?
Yes.
So your first initial response, your initial reaction, your gut check.
It was immaculate. It was amazing. It was so great. The interaction between the band and the
everything
audience.
is just in between, the stage presence, the communication, everything in between. Just the
I mean, look at this guy. He showed up to party with us.
It's great.
Yeah.
The band interaction is fantastic.
That's-
I've seen plenty of Japanese bands. I saw,
Yeah, because we like baby metal too.
baby metal, but phenomenal. Everything about it.
If you had to mention one specific instance that was like your favorite, like signature moment from the show tonight, what would you pick?
The song Different, because that's, of course, the opening for Walk Horizon. One of my favorites of all time. Love it.
Yes.
So can't go wrong.
Because
But-
we're all different.
Right there it is.
Yes, we're all different.
You're all different.
You agree?
Konnichiwa.
There you go.
Arigato.
All right.
Do y'all have a favorite member?
Lisa. Yeah.
Misa.
Misa. Sorry, Misa.
Yeah.
It's late. It's tired.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, the whole band is so good. They're so interactive with all of us. I mean, I felt like it was just part of their lives as they're part of ours. And it felt great. It was, I leave the room just excited to be a part of music and live and rock and roll.
That's how.
And it's never gonna die.
Always
Never.
how we roll.
They have proven rock and roll can never die. Doesn't matter what country, what genre, it doesn't matter.
Diversity doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Halfway across the world doesn't matter. Rock
It's
and roll,
an
rock and
energy
roll.
thing, you know.
Love it.
And they bring the energy to all of us
every time.
So you can see me again?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yes.
Tell them to come back.
Yes.
We'll come rap with every
Hey, I
single
got
time.
my Rosetta Stone right now, and I'm going to learn all the words.
No subtitles. No subtitles needed. No subtitles
And
needed.
yeah, because fuck yeah, dude, that was awesome.
All right.
was fantastic.
So good.
Well, I appreciate your time, guys. Thanks. That
Yes,
was
sir.
it.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys. So y'all told me this is your first time seeing Band-Maid live?
Yeah.
So your first initial gut check reaction.
Honestly, I've seen a lot of Japanese bands come from like Japan, and they have been the more talkative and like really interactive, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I saw Baby Metal back in like 2018, I think. And when I saw they were coming out, I was like, oh my gosh, I absolutely gotta go see them.
Have y'all been fans long?
I've been a fan for a while.
Yeah,
I can't remember when I started listening to it. I jump around. There's like a person that came here, Taco Beaver, which was really good too.
Yeah. Otto with the Beaver, yeah.
Great.
Yeah. If you could pick one moment, one instance from the entire show tonight that was your favorite moment, the one that sticks out in your head, what would you say?
I like that. I like that we went back and forth and we were just screaming at
Yeah.
that. World domination.
Or when they were trying to differentiate when to say it, and they're like, no, pop only. That's funny. I enjoyed it.
So, what prompted the costume today?
Oh, I was like, you know what? Why not?
Why
I got
not?
the May costume. I was like, I'll just show up here.
I approve.
Underdressed.
I approve.
Yeah.
Definitely. Got to step up your dress game for the.
I know.
I just can't, you know.
So, you gonna see him again when you get a chance?
Yes.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much all we're looking for right now, guys. Thank you.